One Stop Tutorials is back once again. My name's Ali Baba. God, I can't believe that you're still hanging in there with these Photoshop tools. We're very soon, we're coming to the bottom of this list and we're going to be doing some really fun stuff soon, so keep watching. Okay, this tutorial we're going to be talking about the blur tool, the sharpen tool and the big old smudge tool. Okay, first things first, we're going to go over the blur tool. Now they're pretty obvious in what they do. Blur tool obviously means it's going to blur. And like always, you've got some setting ups here. Let's just move the strength up to 100. And by using this, you can change the size of your brush this way. I'm a big fan on closed brackets and open brackets. Okay, so I'm just going to resize my brush. Let me zoom in a bit more for you. And the way this works is with the blur tool selected, R is the shortcut. You simply just paint over and it adds a blur. The less strength that you have will add the blur to a more of a slower speed and it's more controllable. Okay, so well worth using the strength. Keeping it in sort of mid-range is very good. What you also have here, you have a let me just refresh this a bit. You have the darken, so it will blur the more of a darker on it. Then you have the lighten, which does the opposite. It'll blur the lighter colors and instead of the darker colors. It'll still blur the darker colors, but it will just work more with the lighter colors. Okay, so and then you've got your other options here: hue, saturation, color and luminosity, but I don't generally use them very much. The next one we got, let me quickly just revert this by hitting F12, revert it back to the original image. The next one we got is the sharpen tool. Now you have to be careful with this tool. This tool, things can get out of control very easily. You can really spoil images by using this one too heavily. Okay, so what you do is the same again. You left click and you just brush it over. Now as you can see, it's taken the pixels, it's made them really bright and it's made them really ugly. You do have your strength, so you can bring your strength down a bit so it doesn't get so harsh, but eventually with playing around with it too much, you will bring it into that horrible pixelated look, unless you might have a use for that, but I don't at the moment. Okay, and again you can use the darken, where it'll sharpen the darker pixels. As you can see here, it sharpens the darker. Here in this case the blue, here is the red. Okay, and then the opposite is the lighten, where it will sharpen up the lighter colors. Okay, as you can see here, just sharpens them up. If used really frugally and not too aggressively, it is a great tool to use. Just be aware that you want to be using the strengths just to make it suit the needs that you need, should I say. And we're just going to quickly hit F12, revert the image back to how it was at the beginning. Now here's the next tool, this smudge tool. Okay, now this smudge tool works on the basis of, it's a bit like the liquefier in your filters panel, the liquefier. The liquefier is a lot better than this tool. This is good for, let's say, touch-ups, but the way this works is, let me zoom out a bit. Let's grab this area here, the index, and you left click and you drag, and what it does is it distorts it, you know, it really smudges it out. Again, you can use the strength, so you could bring it down and it just, you know, nudge things over a bit. So I do use this a bit. I wouldn't say I use it a lot, but there are things that you can use it for. Finger painting, what finger painting is, it starts from the foreground and then works its way to the smudge. So in this case, if I go over the white tank, you notice it's gone black and then it carries on the smudge. Okay, black carries on to the smudge. So that's how that works. Now what would you use this for? Let's say you wanted to just bring this tire up a bit. Let me zoom in so you just wanted to bring it up a bit, and again you can resize your brush so you can make it smaller and you can just bring this wheel in, touch it up. You could bring the front of the bike in. Okay, just bringing it in gently, but like I say, if you really want to distort images like this and really want more freedom and power, then the liquefier is the tool to use, and we shall be going over that very soon. So yeah, you just come around and touch jobs up. Okay, so that's those three tools: the blur, the sharpen, and the smudge tool. R is the shortcut on the keyboard. Play around with them. Don't go too wild with the sharpen tool, because as you can see, it can really mess up images. And yeah, the best way, like all these tools in Photoshop, is just to play around with them and just explore and make mistakes, and then just you can always hit F12 and that will revert your image straight back to how it was when you started. Or if you wanted to, you could always, another way is, if you think you're going to make a lot of mistakes, is quite simply duplicate this the background, duplicate the image, so you could actually turn that off, work on this. Let's say we wanted to distort this. Let's move this up. Let's say we distorted this, moved it all around, done a lot, didn't want to move back. You could simply just open up the first one and you can just delete that one. Okay, so that's a way of doing it. I personally use F12 to revert, and that helps me a lot as well. So that's it for today. Next tool we'll more than likely be going over is the dodge, the burn, and the sponge. And like I said in the other video tutorial, we're nearly there. We're coming to an end soon. We're going to be doing some funky stuff. We're going to get into these palettes. We're going to be doing quick masks. We're going to be manipulating images, changing colors of hair, changing color of eyes. We're going to make big nose, small noses. We're just going to go completely mad in Adobe Photoshop with one-stop tutorials. Thanks everyone, take it easy, and I shall catch you at the next tutorial.